Weight loss. It needs to be fast and sustainable. Noom GLP-1 starts at just $149 and ships to your door in 7 days. Take it from Lauren, who lost 22 pounds on Noom.
If I come off of the GLP-1, it's not going to automatically make my weight yo-yo back.
$149 GLP-1s? Now that's Noom smart. Get started at Noom.com. Real Noom user compensated to provide their story. Individual results may vary. Not all customers will medically qualify for prescription medications. Compounded medications are not reviewed by the FDA for safety, efficacy, or quality.
Hi everybody, it's Hanaconda and welcome to another episode of What's Love's Got to Do with It. Welcome back to my drag room. I'm so excited to see you. I've been trying to upgrade my systems. I've got a new microphone that my beautiful partner Jack bought for me for Christmas. I got a new webcam situation so that you can see me in all of my glory, and I've upped the Zoom's beauty filter so I look like, you know, just gorgeous. So, but welcome back. I'm so excited to be here today and be doing another episode of the show. I just wanted to say thank you for everyone that's listening and for tuning in. And I'm just so incredibly proud of how this is going. And I can't do it without all of you listening and all of my incredible guests. So from the bottom of my heart, a huge big thank you. But it's another beautiful episode today, and I'm so excited to be chatting to a fellow reality TV star. You'll meet them very, very shortly, but it is, you know, beginning of another episode. So, you know, I need to do a little Hannah's moment, and I don't know really what to, you know, I always try to think about something that I want to rant about, but I'm trying to avoid ranting these days because while I went to Perth over New Year's, I got to spend some time with my mum and dad and my family. And while I was there, they taught me about the power of journaling. Not a new concept for anybody, but it's, for me, like, I've never been able to stick to the idea of journaling and writing things out. And sometimes with journaling, you know, you try to channel all of your things out, so you end up writing like a lot of things. And there's so many ways that you can journal. There's so many different ways. And I know, here we go, talking about journaling, but this time, talking to my parents about journaling, it was such a different experience this time because they have been doing a lot of work on themselves, my mum and dad, and they have found this power in journaling and using it also as a goal setting technique, which again is not new, but for me it is. And I have started every day. I had a break while I was in Bali because, you know, I was on holiday. I was in Bali, everyone. I went to Bali. I got sunburnt and I fell off a moped. Look at that. If you can see, if you're watching this visually, you can see my scabby arms. I fell off the moped, but it's okay. It's just scars of life, you know. It is what it is. And I got sunburnt to buggery. But anyway, I had a break while I was in Bali, but before I went to Bali, while I was in the UK doing DragCon and now being back home, the way that my parents have taught me journaling is that you start off by setting out your 10 things that you're grateful for. So you think about 10 things, and that sounds like 10 things that actually is quite difficult to put down in words, to, you know, to quote Elton John or Charlotte Tilbury. So you put down 10 things that you're grateful for, and you write why you're grateful for them and what they're providing into your space in your life. And then you go into a place of forgiveness. You don't have to write why you are sending love and forgiveness to these people, but you write down names of people that you want to send love and forgiveness for, because we know why we are sending love and forgiveness to people. So, you know, you write down names of people that you want to send love and forgiveness for. And then you go into what they call like goal setting. Instead of going like, I want or I hope, you know, the ways that you write down goals of like, I want to achieve this, you write as if you have these things in your life already and you're grateful for them. Because if you're writing in that present tense and with the mindset that you've already got those things in your life, the likelihood of that being attracted to you in this like cosmic ether is so much greater. And you actually start feeling like you have these things and they come. And I can tell you, honestly, in the last few weeks of being able to journal and writing my goals out, it has changed my mindset so much to the point that, you know, I was very down and out about like, coming into 2025 and not really having too many bookings or not doing anything like drag race related. And I had really quite an empty calendar. I was really nervous about that and I was getting really down about it. And I was kind of manifesting this place of, not working and not being booked and stuff like that because I was manifesting that because that's the way I was thinking. In journaling, I was like, I'm grateful for this full calendar being booked and blessed. And although in reality I didn't have it right now, my schedule's starting to fill up and I'm starting to find like incredible gigs and doing all these different jobs. And it's really changed my mindset of how I get out there and work. And, it's even made the hustle being a drag queen and after drag race, the reality is you got to hustle. So, I'm emailing different people and reaching out to different promoters and friends and stuff and seeing what I can lock in and making magic. And it's starting to show. I really noticed an incredible difference in what is coming to me because I flipped my mindset from being a little bit negative and probably a bit down and out and not feeling like I've got things coming in. And now, because I've flipped it, I'm starting to see the rewards of that. And it's crazy how it works. And it might be, some, illusion in my mind or whatever. And, maybe this is not for you. But honestly, just being able to put myself in this positive mindset, it's completely changed how my year is looking, my outlook on the year, the things that are coming into me, because I feel like I'm open to it. Rather than being closed off and being miserable, I feel like I'm welcoming it in. If you're very like if you're spiritual or you're like that way inclined and you're a little bit more in tuned into the universe, kind of like how I operate, I would say give it a go. Like get out there and journal. And also this sending forgiveness to people. This idea of sending forgiveness and love to people. It's not about reaching out to them and doing that. That can happen, absolutely. But what I've noticed is it relinquishes the things that we harbor about issues that we have with people or people that may have done us wrong in the past and relinquishes that burden of holding on to that hurt or being upset or the anger or the hatred that we have for people. And it relinquishes that, takes the power out of it because you don't realize when you hold that in how much power and brain capacity and energy that consumes in your life. And I feel like, maybe crazy. Like I might be, sounding like, a little bit of a nutter, but like there is a connection between how we operate as people and how our bodies and our minds and energy levels and our health all operate. And they're all very connected. I've really noticed since I've been able to write down the names of people that I feel have upset me or hurt me or have done wrong by me and releasing the power that has on me, I've started to feel charged up again and I've started to feel motivated. I'm getting a little bit more energy back. And I feel like the only way I could sort of picture it in my mind is it's like a virus on a computer, I suppose. And it's, draining the power, in the background and you don't realize. And once you do a virus cleanse on the computer, you get your Norton or whatever, and you get out there and you do a little cleanse of your viruses. And then you go, oh my God, it's running faster. It's running better. I'm feeling better. I mean, honestly, give it a whirl. It might not be for you. It's not for everyone. Everyone's very different. But it has honestly really changed my mindset in my life. And also, you will find different ways of journaling. There's no rule, rhyme, or reason of how you journal. Just being able to put pen to paper, which is a dying art, let me tell you. Honestly, it blows my mind that kids sometimes like they're not getting it like the physical pen and paper that they're typing things out. And there's a very different release when you type things out versus pen and paper because it feels like it's like a connection to what you're doing. I encourage you, pen and paper, get a little journal. My mum and dad gave me this one, which is so cute. It's got I'm having a wine, by the way, because it's like 8 o'clock at night. So I'm having a wine. But this is the journal that they gave me, and I've just been going to town on it. And I tell you, give it a whirl. Let me know in the comments how you feel with your journaling, if it's going well or whatever. But I think obviously being what's love's got to do with it. If you're going through things, this is a great way of releasing that and channeling your feelings and emotions so you can get a bit of a clear mind. Because I think in, 2025, the way we operate, sometimes we go so quickly that I don't think we have time to process how we feel. And, sometimes we may act a little bit rash or go a little bit crazy. And I think if you give yourself the time to sort of process how you feel and sit with it and write it out and see it, I think it will allow you to make better decisions in your life and open up some really great doors. So that's my advice. Give the journaling a go. I don't know. It's working for me so far. I might be here next week going, fuck the journaling. But right now, I am an advocate for journaling and getting out your feelings. So, with that being said, it is time to deep dive into the life of our very beautiful guest, and I'm excited to welcome them after the break, and I cannot wait for you to meet them. But for now, stick around, we'll be right back with our incredible guest. It's Hanaconda, and I am joined by an incredibly beautiful human being all the way from the UK, but originally from Australia. Please welcome to the pod the absolutely gorgeous Hotboiyo!
Hey,
Yes!
bitch. How are
Hi,
you?
babes. Oh, I'm so good. It is so great to finally be able to connect because I know we've been trying to do this for a while.
Yeah, there's been a few crossovers, but like you've been here a few times. But like I thought you were gonna go out after DragCon, but I get it. So tired.
Oh, bitch, can I tell you what
Yeah.
happened? So I was going to go out because it was Max from RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under season 4.
Yeah, I went to that. That's why I was like, I'm sure
With
it was at Freedom Bar.
yes. Oh, what's the
Heavenly
night called
Bodies.
though? Heavenly Bodies.
Heavenly
Yes.
Bodies. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
like bones and flesh, and they
Yeah,
run
yeah.
the night. Yes. And so I was gonna go, but honestly, DragCon rooted me in the ass to the point
Yeah,
that
I'm not shocked.
because I was gonna go out and I had like got myself all ready. I went to my friend's house where I was staying for the last part of my trip, and I laid down and I was like, I have a 20-minute nap. Next thing, it's fucking 12 o'clock. I've slept through the
Yeah.
whole day.
No, babe, I'm not sure. I messaged you and I was like, I doubt she's ever gonna reply.
Oh, I felt so
Yeah.
bad because I wanted to come and see you and like,
No.
get to be gay. And I do love Heavenly Bodies. I've been before. It's so good.
It's really good. It's weird. You know how in Australia, like every nightclub you go to, every gay club, there'll be a moment where it kind of stops for the drag show or like a show. Not
Yeah.
really here. Like you have to go to the drag nightclub. So like Heavenly Bodies is good because it's like just a full drag night. Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody knows Hot
Oh
Boy
yeah.
or Oscar as I
You
know
can
him.
call me whatever you want, baby. Up to
Well, we've all got called a lot worse for a lot less, let's be real.
yeah. Let's be real. Yeah,
You're
my
based in
story.
London.
Yeah, I live in London. I'm from Melbourne. Well, I guess I was born in Brisbane, but like I just want to like delete that from my life. I'm from
I
Melbourne.
was born in Brisbane.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, how old are you? I'm 29.
I'm 20. I'm a little bit old. I'm 33 at the Mater Hospital in Brisbane. I don't know if do you know the hospital you're born
Yeah,
in?
I think I was born at the same one, babes. I think we're connected.
Yeah, bitch. Fuck yes.
I did live in Sydney for a bit where I saw you a bunch of times, but I was like such a young baby trans boy. I didn't really know who to talk to. Sydney's a bit cliquey.
Oh my God. I know.
Yeah, I don't really love that. Like it's very gay, not queer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's getting
Mm.
honestly, I'll give it its credit. It's where we've Sydney's had a big overhaul in its like nightlife and
Oh, cute.
how it operates, which has been really, really lovely. And because I moved from Perth and I moved to Sydney because I connected with the drag scene here a lot, more than Melbourne. It was a toss up between the two, but I always just connected with the drag scene here in Sydney. And so I moved in 2015 and honestly, as a drag queen, it was fun and I loved it. But as like a gay man trying to find their way in the world,
No. I've never been more
brutal.
insecure in my life. I remember we went to Mardi Gras one year and I decided stupidly, I'm like, oh, I'll go to the gym before we go. I went to the gym, I like just off like Oxford Street or something. And I was like, I've never felt more insecure in my life at a gym. Like everyone's looked so hot. And why do you look like that working out? Anyway, I would never,
Me,
no.
well, I
Anyway.
didn't. I've only just recently got to the gym, babes. Like I'm talking the last year.
Fuck
So
yeah,
why
babe,
would you go to
because
Mardi Gras? Why would you go to the gym?
well, if I could afford so many surgeries, I would. So maybe not. I'm like, maybe I'd be a little fatty and just get real fat and comfy. But right now, I'm like, oh, stressed. But I moved to London because of like opportunities that Australia doesn't have. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Traveling around, like it's crazy. Moving here, I'm like, what an oasis of
yeah,
like queerness. And then I'm like, But I'm excited to go back home and visit and see how much has changed because I hope it has.
Oh, I can honestly say the overhaul that Australia's queer scene has had in the last few years has been really amazing to see, especially here in Sydney. Like I've noticed that there is a greater diversity of like different performers and different artists that are doing shows. There's more kings, there's more like a lot of burlesque influence and stuff like
Yes,
that
bring the
coming in.
kings, bring the
Yeah,
horse.
bring
Let's
the
go.
kings. I know, honestly, because I like when I grew up in Perth, drag was there was never really like gatekeeping or rules on drag.
No,
Like, I think it's because we like being an isolated city, the most
yeah.
isolated city in the world. You just everyone is there to make fun, and enjoy
I'm
it
not
each
gonna
other.
lie, the amount of British people that are like, oh, my mate lives in Perth, and I'm like, why? Like, why did you go like all the way over there? I'm not saying it's bad, but out of all the places, why did they? A lot of them live there. They really fucking love Perth. Anyway,
It's an oasis if you are in the in the mining industry.
oh, okay, yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
Oasis, Perth. My mum went there for work and she cried.
Really? Look, Perth is a really beautiful place. I love going to visit. And like they've got the third biggest fringe like festival now in the world. Like Perth Fringe is
Okay,
epic.
I'll give
It's
it.
wild.
I'm sure it's great. I won't be
Yeah.
visiting three
Oh,
times.
if you go, I've got to come with you. We
Okay,
have to go
you can
together.
take me on tour.
Yeah.
Can you just
Yeah.
like, oh, can you put me in a little backpack? Because I don't want to actually, it feels like a lot of work
Yes.
to walk
I will
past.
do that for you. I will. But
Okay.
but
Oh,
enough about our Australia connection. I want to know about
o-
you because I'm so
okay.
excited. I know you've been working in the adult entertainment industry for a while
Bitch, I
and
feel
you
like
have
I'm doing every industry at this point. People are like, what do you do? And I'm like, I don't know anymore. Anything. Like, everything.
whatever pays.
Whatever. Literally, I'm like, you
Yeah.
paying? I'm there.
I
So there.
love it. But like your big moment was Slag Wars season. It
Yeah,
was
that was
season 2, wasn't it?
Yeah, season 2, which
Yeah.
I'm glad it was like such a step up from the first season. I just moved here. So I'd been here for like 2 months before like I got asked to go on the show. And I was like, great. So I've just sold everything I own to move overseas. And I'm like, cool, I have nothing. So I'm a bit of a panic. And then I get there and other fuckers have like 2 suitcases like it's Drag Race. And I'm like, here's my little G strings.
Do you say 2 suitcases like it's Drag Race?
No, I'm just saying like I'm saying where I'm not. I know you brought more than 2 suitcases, but
Oscar.
I don't.
Oscar.
How much did you bring? But you know what I mean?
No, we'll
Like
go.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
whoa, you guys are bringing like a lot, and they had so many options, and I was like, I have this and only this, and then they changed some of the challenges in this, and I'm like, great. So I was kind of winging it, and I was like so overwhelmed the whole time. Everyone else I feel like was a bit more relaxed. Like the opportunities I've had here haven't beat any like not expectation, like any goal I've ever had in my life. Like I
Yeah.
have done like the craziest things from my modeling to like even gigs and stuff. Like I literally just performed at FK Twigs album release party. What? Like I'm in the same green
Wild.
room as FK Twigs. What?
That's
Australia
London.
could never. Australia
No,
could fucking never.
I know. Like,
Oh,
don't. I know. But it's like the magic of like I would move to London in a heartbeat because I love it. And
it fucking sucks though,
yeah.
babe. Like, okay, it's a love-hate
No, yeah,
relationship. You know
yeah.
what I
No,
mean?
can you tell me why you have a love-hate relationship with London? Because I need to hear this, just so you get context. Obviously, I did Drag Race UK versus the World, so I've got a lot of friends in the UK.
That was a slay, by the way. We talked about you a
Thank
lot
you.
here. But we're like, we
Thank
know
you.
her.
Thank
We
you.
know her.
We
See?
actually- But I love the UK like drag community, the drag scene. I love it. My partner's a Geordie, so he's from the north, so got the sensibility. The UK is my second home. I would
Okay.
love to move there and like for me, business wise, I would love to live
Yeah.
in Manchester, but I feel like I need to be like in a radius of maybe an hour or 2 hours around London. So not in
Yes.
London, but like for me and for people that are contemplating moving to London, I want to know your experience of living in
Okay.
London.
So there's such a fucking difference of coming here on holiday than moving. Like I really
Yeah.
mean that. When I was on holiday here, I was like, oh my God, it's amazing this. And now that I'm here, I think I went through my first depression the first winter. It's not the cold, it's the grey. It's the grey and the
Yeah.
wet. But beyond that, it's like just crazy expensive. Like you pay the most random things. Like you pay council tax, and that's just for them to pick up your bins. But I don't know if you've been to London, the streets are gross. So I don't know what I'm paying for.
Well,
You just
yeah,
pay everything adds up, and like you pay like you have to pay for like a TV license. Did you know that?
oh yeah, for the
TV
BBC.
The food is another one. I don't know how to tell the British that the war is over and they can definitely eat better than this. And I'm like, do you know what I mean? Like the food is like slop. And they're like, here, the best food I've had here is definitely like other nationalities. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
honestly, the Indian and the Chinese food there fucking
Oh,
slaps, bitch.
they could
But
do a good Sunday roast, but you'd be fucking shocked if they couldn't. It's kind of their thing. Yeah. But beyond that, I guess like the people, it's just the always rushing. Everything is go, 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 especially in
yeah,
London. I miss things I never thought about, like the slowness, the simplicity of Australians, like the way we communicate and just everyone being chill. Like
yeah,
when I moved here, I got lost so many times. I would rather move to like Manchester or something. So I do get you. It
yeah.
reminds me a little bit of Melbourne, but then you're right, gig wise, you've only got like a strip, but you could just go to London, I guess. No big deal.
Well, this is the thing, you know.
It's
I
not that
well,
expensive to travel.
no, and like I love getting on the train. Can I tell you my favorite thing to do when I'm in the UK? When I land from Australia and I'm like at the airport, Heathrow or Gatwick, I don't mind. I will never pay for an Uber from those airports. Absolutely never.
No, bitch. Fuck
Bitch,
that.
I will have 4 suitcases and I will get my ass down to the tube.
Four
And
suitcases on the tube.
yes,
No.
yeah, yeah. And I will get onto the tube because I know now where all the stations are that have like the elevator access. So I know when I can get like up and down. The worst thing
I
is
didn't
if
even know
the
that.
oh my god, no, it's so good.
You-
So you just go to the nearest one to your destination that has like the elevator, and then you get like a Uber from there. But I love because of how quick Londoners move and how pressed they get when you are
Oh,
in
that's
their
so
way.
annoying. Yeah.
I love it. I love getting in their way with my suitcases. And I have 4, and I will take up a whole thing. And I will be like, when I get to my stop, I'll be like, excuse me. And I'm like coming through
Literally
with fucking
barge through.
I
No,
love it. I
they
love
love
it.
they get grumpy about everything. They love complaining, but then they also do the shitty thing. Like the amount of people I'm like, why are you running into me? I thought you guys hated that. Anyway, I
I
thought that
know.
was a huge thing. Back to Slag Wars. I really loved
Yes,
it. It was
yes,
fun.
yes.
I was the first one to get naked on the first episode, and I was
Love
like,
that.
as if I'm the only one to.
Did you enjoy the process of like, because reality TV is like very similar in all its different forms. Like, did you enjoy the process of like being a character on the show?
The one thing that kind of, not that I hated it, I do have autism, and I feel like production didn't really like. I didn't get a lot of the things, and they were like, "Hey, you really missed the mark, like in this challenge." And I was like, "Okay," because you can't ask like for clarification. Where like that's something I would do on any other set. I'd be like, "So if you want me to pose like this, how do you want me to pose?" But I can't ask. How did you?
Would
What
they
did you
not
mean
give you
by
that
this challenge?
information?
Because I'm like asking to get more information, so I get it, and they're like, "We can't tell you that," and I'm like, "Okay," and then I would do it, and they were like, that was there, but like I was like, okay. So like I hated how I didn't understand things, but not like nothing bad about the show. I'm always on set and stuff. I think just like I understand now why people cry a lot on like on reality TV. Like I was so
Yeah.
exhausted. I feel like I'm shocked I didn't cry because I just feel like the moment if anyone asked me anything deep, I would have been like so emotional because I feel like I've had 3 hours sleep.
I think that's how they get you. Because like even though we get taken back to a hotel or whatever at like a reasonable time, as creatives and artists and whatever, we're not gonna go to sleep.
No, we're all like kicking in the kitchen eating chicken wings. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
so
yeah.
you could all hang out together.
Okay, so we like all shared like rooms. There was like 4 or 5 of us to a room. We all like,
What?
yeah, which was really stressing me out in the morning getting ready with like Mama Mumba and Coco. They had like all their suitcases. They were like this, and I'm just like, oh. Other than that,
Uh,
it was all right.
was it like because like
You know what's
from
funny? You're the
my
first person to not ask me if any of us fucked, and I'm like, you're like literally the first person. Most people are like, did any of you had sex? And I'm like, no, but they always assume we all did. I
well,
should have said we had a massive orgy.
I'd believe that of Slag Wars, but I also believe it of Drag Race, to be honest.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Can I tell you though, at DragCon, when you like meet all the artists from all over, I don't know if this is like colonization, being in the Commonwealth or whatever, but it's always like the Australian, the UK, and the Canadian artists. They always just bond. And to give credit to our American sisters, there are some that dive in, but like I think we operate on a very different level.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
definitely agree.
Uh,
But you know,
I
DragCon would be so similar to Sexpo, not like as in like similar at
Oh
all,
yes,
but I mean
Sexpo.
as
Does
in
that
like
happen in the UK?
no babe, that's just an Australian thing.
Oh.
I was the first Australian trans man to be like a performer there, which sounds cool, but also like, what do you mean I'm the first fucking one? Like, how has that never
Wow.
happened? I'm like, cool, we're changing, but it's not that cool.
There's so many fabulous artists. I'm glad you're the first because, like, hello.
No, they have an American one, and I was like, why didn't we have any from Australia? Like
Oh,
porn star.
they've never got
No, they've
Australian
had
ones.
no, they've had in the past, and I'm like, why are you importing people from? Yeah,
And
that's what I mean. I was like, hang on, this should be homegrown pussy on this soil right here today, literally.
Yes. Why is this like, this is an Australian thing? I've noticed this as well at Mardi Gras things. They import talent, but isn't
Yeah.
Mardi Gras and these pride festivals that we have about exposing the talent that we have in Australia to the world? You have a couple, obviously, because you want like the international eyes. But
But
why is
I
that
feel like,
the detriment to like Australian artists? You know, it should be both.
yeah, I definitely agree. And I feel like, especially all of you guys on TV and stuff now, I'm literally like, okay, you can't deny them the gigs now. Come on, you have to give them
Well,
the gigs. I listened to your one, oh, I can't remember who it was with. You were talking about how like they needed to get a job. Like they
oh,
realized they needed to get a job.
Beverly.
Yeah.
Beverly.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, it's unrealistic for them to think that our lives would be like American people on. I've asked me about Slag Wars, and I'm like, babe, it's like the most niche in a niche show. Do you think I'm a millionaire now? I'm
Yeah.
not saying I'm not like more popular and it's gotten me more gigs and all that stuff, and I'm very grateful and I've grown since the show. But like, let's tone it back a bit. Yeah,
And it doesn't always translate into like money in the bank or
money, no.
jobs and stuff like that. It gives you like this, I don't know, the platform, I suppose they say. But
Have more of an audience for a window, and you have to take a mad opportunity.
yeah, how did you find once you'd competed on the show and that you were out there? Did you have an influx of people coming in to like take in your content and subscribing? I know your online space is amazing, but do you do
There,
live stuff as well? How
I
does it all work?
perform. I perform, like I said before, I do anything they pay me. In Australia, I was like, I think I was Poof Doof's first, like trans go-go boy, which bitch, I really pushed that. One time I came out there with just the tiniest bit of like skin colored tape, and I was like, this is what I'm wearing. And they were like, the security were trying to get me off stage, and they were like, no, no, he's performing. I would like be as trans naked as I possibly could. I don't know why, I just thought it was fun. I hosted a nude men's night. That was my first go-go gig. A bit
Yeah.
intense. It was an event called Adam in Melbourne. I don't know where it
Okay,
was.
I haven't heard about him before. It's a Melbourne thing.
Uh, you're like, well, let me write that down. Where was that?
Yeah, no, I was like, I need to be going to
um,
Adam. Thank you.
yeah, it was. I think it was Adam in Melbourne, and I was like going on stage until like just these guys are having an orgy, and I was like, no one's even paying attention to me. That was my first gig.
Well, I'd be there being all
No, yeah, I had it just on the side, like
tipping, throwing dollar coins at you, like,
literally.
woohoo, come
And
on.
then before I left, I like did a few art exhibitions where I did like a lot more serious like performance art about what it feels like to be like a trans man. But I got completely naked in front of like 300 people. I think I did it 30 times, which is crazy because it was really emotional. I just did some things like that and porn. And then when I moved to the UK, I did Slag Wars very early on, and I thought this is gonna be like not my big break, but help me, set myself up here. And by the time it came out a year later, I'd done so much that it was kind of just like, oh, that's added to it. I thought that that was going to be my moment. But the amount of gigs, opportunities, fashion weeks, I've done 2 Milan fashion weeks, 4 London
It's
shows.
incredible.
It's like I was on a billboard like bigger than like a house in the middle of London and Piccadilly Circus.
That is insane. What brand was that for?
That was for Pride, and it literally was a poster of me flexing saying trans is hot. It was a moment. It was such a moment. Australia hasn't like got the opportunities or the space for honestly just trans men performing really in general. Like Beyond Kings, which still I'm glad they're getting more space, but I doubt it's like that big comparatively. I reckon they're still yelling
It is.
about it.
Yes, it
Which they
definitely.
deserve to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As trans men, couldn't say I've ever. I hope this has changed, but couldn't say I've ever seen like a backup dancer to a drag queen or main photo shoots, runways, things like that. I didn't see everything I've done here. I don't even think there was an option to do that there. When I got signed as a model, I was like two. I think there was 2 of us signed in the whole country. That's crazy. And the only shoots I was getting was like diversity. And I was like, I just want to be a male model.
And I know you probably feel that like the frustrations is that our gender and our identity should just not be a factor in
Yeah.
in these things, because we should be being hired on our talent, our ability, our
Yeah.
gorgeousness, and our fabulousness. And we're going to capitalize on the things that we can. Mardi Gras is coming up here in Sydney. So I'm like, yes, I am a drag
A
queen.
fun bitch.
Yes, get me booked. Obviously, the thing that I'd love to see in the world is that if we could just like stop looking at that and just enjoying the
Weird
fabulousness
talent.
of, yes, and just if
Yeah.
like humans making fabulous things. And I don't know, it really frustrates me that even as a community, we still have so much more growth to
Yeah.
make.
I think like moving here, it's so weird because the healthcare system and the government like sucks and they really hate trans people. I had to really pick like healthcare over community. I'm not saying Australia doesn't have one, but opportunities and depth. Like, I don't think I really know a straight person. That's crazy to say. I don't. I think that like every other person I know is trans. I think I know 3 cis gay men. Do you know what I mean? That's fucking crazy.
But that's like incredible.
I love that. And I just wish Australia had these sort of opportunities. I moved here to put Australian trans men on the map in a way. And I just wish I didn't have to leave to do that. Even queer media that we're putting out doesn't even represent us all the time. Like, it's always just very
Yeah.
hyper femme, like every photo shoot, this, that. And like, we'll have one of every diversity, and that's enough. And it's like, what do you mean? Where are the butch lesbians in the next photo shoot? Where are this? Where like,
Yes.
stop putting like some bearded bitch with eyeshadow in. Let's put a big dyke, you know?
Yeah, let me tell you, when I look at our community, the fact that we try and put us into boxes is wrong, because we don't fit into box. We'd never have. That's what our community is. I hope you don't find this offensive, because I call myself this, but like, it's where the freaks go. We live in that freak space. Like, that's how I grew up.
We're like a mixed bag of like
yes,
everything and everything, and I love it.
all the weirdos, the outcasts, we've all come, and like, we've now called it, I suppose, queer. The queer community is where we all are, but fundamentally it's just a place where we are all able to just be. And
Yeah.
because when I started growing up, and started going out into the gay bars and stuff, it was prior to social media being a really big thing. It was prior to Drag Race. We never questioned anybody. We were just all there together in all of our freakazoids, living. And there was hot people, there was ugly people, there was all different shapes and sizes. There was just like lesbians, there was trans people, there was like, there was the gays. We were just, it was like, actually, it was, it's quite euphoric. Because we were...
No, I love and relish in moments like that. That's why I love nightlife, because it's just like, that's, as queer people, it's kind of the only space where that is going to happen. You know what I mean?
And we can go and just freak out and just be us. It could be the fact that I have drunk half this bottle of wine.
I'm so jealous because it's 9 a.m. I wish I was drunk right now, but it's a bit silly for me.
I'm just going to make a general statement. And
Go
Oscar,
for it.
feel free to like absolutely shoot me down. You know what I think has ruined the world?
What?
Clothing. Because we should just get rid of that.
Wait, okay.
We should just take out off our clothes and then
Everyone
just
get naked.
and then just be bodies.
I'm not gonna lie, it is the most freeing experience. Okay, so I feel like a lot of people don't really, they see me as just being this really confident person. And I'm not saying that I'm not, but that is very much, it is me now. But I guess when I was younger, it was a character, just almost like drag. Like Hotboiyo was this person I could pretend to be online, and people started noticing me as like this it boy before I even gave a shit about it. I don't know, that's what people said to me. I was like, what do you mean by that? They're like, you that it boy from Instagram. And it's funny because I looked back at this era and I had like 50 likes. I'm like, what were you guys talking about?
Yeah, but
like what are you talking about?
You are
But anyway, but
you are that it boy.
I was so insecure. I've been with my partner for 10 years. And I couldn't say, like, my whole transition. And up until I started doing porn, I don't think I'd ever send them a nude. I was like, I wouldn't, like, I was like a no touch me top for like so many years. And I feel like people don't really think that like I was like that. But then once starting to do porn and being this free person, starting getting naked, I have never been more free in my fucking life. I have never liked myself more in my life. I've never, like at Sexpo, I was walking around there like looking like a little freak show, because the Sexpo was like a lot of normal people going to get like a dirty little whip and shit. So like
buying a little toy, a little like like get a little rabbit.
They're like, oh, do you have like furry handcuffs? And we're like, yeah, right, Craig. But then I decided to do this live sketch thing, and it was on the main stage, and it was at the convention center in Melbourne. So like, you've been there.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah.
I'm on stage completely naked. I literally felt the whole room stop. It felt like the entire convention center was like, and like I just stood up there, and like the guy on the mic was like, "Hey, can everyone be respectful?" And I instantly was like, "Great," because I know that's about me, not the other people. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But then I was like, "No, fuck you guys. I don't really give a shit. Like I'm paid to be here, and you guys are losers." At the end of the day, I will never let them win because if there's one trans person that sees that and goes, "Wow," then like I couldn't care. I couldn't
Well,
care. I guess that's where the
that's
confidence comes from, though. Is the
yeah,
idea
like
that like if I saw this when I was younger, I would have been maybe a lot different about
mm,
myself and viewed how I viewed myself. I just want other trans guys to feel sexy and do
but
whatever they want. Yeah, I think clothing has created more issues in a way, like about you seeing yourself.
yeah.
Yeah. But then also it's created like gender euphoria. Imagine if you didn't have drag, what would Hannah really look like then? That literally,
I would look
it would
like
just
Uncle
makeup.
Fester.
Just makeup.
Have you? I would look like Uncle Fester from the Addams Family. That is what I'd look like. I'm just gonna have a moment. Can I tell you about my hair journey?
Go for it. Are you mad that I'm not bald?
No, because I think I've been trying to find confidence in baldness because my
Okay.
hair was thinning, and then my partner Jack, his hair was thinning, and he shaved his head, and he looks so hot bald.
You should just shave it. Like I love the bald. I actually was crying about
Hold
having
on,
hair.
Oscar. Hold on.
Okay.
Jack, hot bald. Because he gets a beard and he's got glasses. And I was like, you're very sexy bald. I started shaving my head for about a year. And then like it would be fun when I had a beard and I'd be like, okay, I'm bald and like living. And then but when I shaved my beard off, I was like, I felt like Gollum. And I was like, for me, I'm not comfortable. And so I've always worn hats because my hair was thinning for maybe the last like 5, 6 years. So I'm going to a hair system journey. So I'm gonna go get like a cute little like I'm gonna be a wig on wig girl because I'm gonna get like
Are
the
you
little
gonna get a
like
toupee?
yes, well, yeah, well no, we don't use
Like the
toupee anymore because that's
what are they called?
offensive.
Sorry. Oh, is it? So sorry.
I don't know, actually. I don't really give a shit. I'm taking the piss.
I'm trying to
But
hold my laugh in. Okay, yeah.
no, but like no, because it's a hair system.
So
It's a
sorry.
hair
My
system now.
apologies.
So I have been growing my hair. Okay, so I'm growing my hair back. I've been shaving my head now for about a year.
Okay.
And P.S. like I do live for you as like a sexy bald man. So I was living. I grew my hair back and it's growing like it's getting there. Like but you can see like a
Oh, it
hair
grows
system
weird when you grow it out.
would sit so good there. But anyway,
That would look good.
I went to Bali because there was a
I
place called
saw.
it was a place called Hair for All, and they said they do hair systems. I got there. They have one color of hair, and the texture was really thick, like Asian man black hair.
Did you get it? Did you buy it?
Well, in my state, I was sitting there and I was like, I'm just gonna get it, Jack. I'm just gonna get it. I was like, doesn't it look natural? I
Did
I
what did he like gas you up? What did he like?
no, Jack was like, do not do it. It looks
I would have, I
awful.
would have, I would have lied straight to your face. I would have convinced you with a great. I would have got you to
Would
post
you?
Instagram photos. Yeah, I would have laughed about it so hard.
I'll show you what it looked like. I've
Yeah.
got a thing here. This is what it felt
So
like.
now are you making fun of like my heritage or no? I'm just,
I'm Irish Italian. You know,
I'm kidding, babe.
I'm
You look,
gnocchi, bitch.
you
I'm
look good in
gnocchi.
this. You look
Yeah,
good in this.
but this is kind of what it felt like.
Sorry, I'm
But
just gonna take a.
except in like black. Basically, I'm on a hair journey. But also you're kind of like on that hair journey too, because you've grown your
Yeah,
hair out. It
growing
really
it out was
like
ugly, like really ugly. But I just think it's funny. There was a few trans guys because I don't know if you know, but like testosterone, like makes you bald. Like so many trans guys go bald, and I've been on testosterone for like 10 years now. When I started growing it back, some of my friends were like, "Oh, so that was on purpose? Cool." And I'm like, "Sorry, boys.
not the
Sorry, boys."
transphobia to the trans
No,
community.
but okay, I have two chest hairs. When that happens, this can go bald. But imagine if I started balding and I'm like, is puberty gonna finish itself? Or
Like,
I
what's it? What's going on, body? Come on.
you can't even see it. Don't worry.
No, but I saw it. I felt it in my soul.
I can feel it whisk against the wind sometimes.
We got to get to the end, but I just want to tell you the absolute magic that you make and being out there just as a beautiful human being, but as an
Really.
incredible trans man that gets out there and just makes incredible chord, incredible art, incredible things, and just like it's just so exciting to see you thrive and
You're
like
being so sweet.
and
Thank
just like
you.
no, but just
I
like
mean the same
kick
to you
life
as
in the
well, babe.
dick. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
it's nice. It's amazing.
like I did kick life in the dick and I always
You
will.
have.
I feel
Good.
like you just always need to like push your way to the front because no one's gonna let you.
We are part of history. We've like
No, you're
we get
right.
no,
And
but we
like
get to make these
history,
moments.
queer history is like, I don't know, so important to me. The idea that I was the first trans man on Slag Wars and like I just wanted to make a little bit of a statement. I didn't care if I won, I didn't care if anything. And the messages I've gotten from so many trans guys being like, wow, like you what you said on this episode or something. And I didn't really say all that much. The one thing I wish that the difference of the shows, they didn't film us like authentically, like you know how you guys in the workroom, it was like you three come and like have a chat. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot like you didn't really get to see like my personality as much. It was really curated and
That's
I'm not mad at
TV.
my edit. I came off really cute, but like beyond that, like I just looked really sweet and cute the whole time, and I was like, oh, I didn't think that's what the vibe I was giving, but okay, whatever.
Sweet and cute is going to live on for eons and eons. Look
Yeah,
at me
one
in
of
the eye, Oscar. Look at me in the eye. We are part of queer history. We are part of it. We've done wonderful things. So,
I love you.
but we're not allowed to acknowledge it, okay? So,
Aren't you just doing that now?
no.
You're being so silly. This is so fun to wake up
Oh,
to.
honestly, I can't believe it's only like 9 a.m. for me, for you, and then it's like
Oh,
one time for mama.
no,
Woohoo!
I've almost finished my tea. Cheers, babe.
Well, cheers to you. Can you tell all of the wonderful people that we're in the ear holes of, where can they find you? What's coming up for you?
You can find me at onlyfans.com/hotboiyo. My Instagram is also hotboiyo. I'm doing like photo shoots and campaigns. And my Adidas campaign comes out next, like in a few weeks. And it's my first worldwide campaign. And I pushed on set if I could wear something that shows my binder. So I'm wearing like a singlet with like my full binder showing in a worldwide Adidas campaign. And I'm very excited and proud of that. I'm always tripping around and traveling around, but I guess it's all the
Just
same
keep
old,
an eye
same
on
old.
there. Keep an eye on the
Yeah,
socials.
please do. Thanks, baby.
I absolutely adore you.
I adore you. When I come back, we're gonna have a big hug and a
I
big kiss.
cannot wait. I cannot wait. And
I,
look, I just actually just live for you very, very much. And
I'm
yeah,
sad that we
just
didn't cross over when we're here, but when I
I
come back
know,
home, we
I
definitely
know.
will. Definitely
I
will.
will. Like we will be able to hold bodies and be fabulous together very, very soon. But thank you for being here with me. Welcome back, everybody. Oscar/Hotboiyo. Absolutely incredible. I'm very grateful for Oscar being here with us for the podcast. And it's gone a little bit over. There's no healing hands today, but I am sending you healing hands all the way from my little drag room. That was just absolutely brilliant. Oh my God, my heart is full, and I hope your heart is full. I really do love being able to do this podcast so I can speak to people from all different walks of life and share stories because that's what we're about. That's humanity. Thank you for another incredible episode of What's Lost Got to Do with It. I love you. I hope you're having a fabulous week. I hope you are doing the things that you love and being absolutely gorgeous while you do it. And I really appreciate you tuning into What's Lost Got to Do with It. Got to do with it. Please go make sure you go follow Hotboiyo from the bottom of my heart. I love you. I love you. I love you. All right, I'm rambling. Mama's had the wine. Mama's on the vino. All right, we'll see you next week for another episode of What's Lost Got to Do with It. I love you. I love you. I love you.